Morning, flower and gardening friends. Welcome back. I hope you've had a good week. It's late winter here in Victoria, Australia. We're only a few weeks off spring. And one of my favourite things to do in the garden at this time is propagate. So I thought today I'd take you along and we'll propagate some plants. I'll show you a few different techniques that I use here. A few of the plants that we're going to do today is Sedum. It's beautiful in the garden, but it's also beautiful as a cut flower in my bouquets. So I use it all the time. Feverfew is another one that I use all the time in bouquets. It's gorgeous in a mixed bouquet, or it's gorgeous just in a bouquet on its own. The lily bulbs I've seen have formed little bulblets on the bottom. So I'll show you how I divide those, and maybe even do a dahlia or a few more plants. We'll see what else is out there. Puppy dog. Puppy dog in the way. So just dig a nice big root ball around there. Coming up pretty easy because we've had a lot of rain here. So my plant has fallen in two bits, which is fine. That shows me it's going to come apart nice and easy. So some of the pieces are just falling off, like that's the root there, obviously. Just cut these bits off, don't need them, don't need that. Don't need those. So that's one bit. And try and pull them apart. So that will have its own little bit of root. These are just cuttings of, there's little roots on there, but these will root so easy. They're basically like a succulent. They just want to grow. Just pull him apart. And then I'll use that as another bit of root. Get a cutting off that one. Replant that. And then these, I'll just take all cuttings from these ones. So that big clump I'll pop back in the ground along with those ones. And then I'll show you how we put up these. So I've just got a pot here that I've recycled pot. I've just popped up with potting mix. And then with your little cuttings, you just strip down the lower leaves. Find my little dibber tool. Put a little tool like that. Pop in a little hole. Put it in and firm the soil around it. And I'll just keep going with those. I wouldn't normally put cuttings this close together in a pot, but I know with Sedum that it won't mind. And they're not going to be in here for that long till I pop them back up again. So you just need to keep the first few sets of leaves on. Oh, I broke the end off that, but it's not going to care. Trust me, I've been growing this stuff for years and it will all root. And I just found this guy in the garden that I must have done last year and forgotten to plant because, yeah, it has roots. So I would have put one cutting in there, and that's my new plant that I need to get in the garden now. So this is my very late winter cut flower area. We'll just walk down here and get some feverfew. Don't mind the weeds. We've just had a lot of rain and I need to get out here. This is my little feverfew patch. It is a little bit patchy. You can see where I've put some younger seedlings in. I'll I'm going to get one of these plants and get some cuttings off and show you that. So I'm just going to go into the plant, and you could actually pull up the whole plant and pull it apart that way if you want, but I just prefer to just take a few cuttings and then you can leave the plant in the ground if you're growing. So you just need small bits, pieces like that. This is another one that just propagates really easily. It just falls apart for you to little sections, pieces. So for the Feverfew, I've just filled this tray with some nice light potting mix, and I will put my holes in, get them ready. So with Feverfew, it's the same again, just pull all those lower leaves off. You don't need the wasted energy going into all those leaves. That one there, that's probably enough. Just dip it into the hormone powder and pop it in. Back of your soil. It's so easy. Going. Do a good job on that one. You know, when you're on, I'm not on a huge acreage, we're only on 2 acres here, but still it's so expensive to have a big garden. So you need to learn these little techniques to, you've got a nice full garden. Feverfew is a beautiful daisy kind of flower if you don't know what it is. And yeah, beautiful in bouquet work. It does have a funny smell. Not everyone loves it. I don't particularly love it, but some people don't mind it, but that's the trade-off, I suppose. Pretty flower. Yeah, I'll just give them a water in. There you go. There'll be 10 free plants. Pop them somewhere warm. I've got a little greenhouse down the side, or you can just put them on a nice, well-lit windowsill. Not too bright, not too hot, just a bit of light. And then within a month or so, they'll have enough roots to go out into the garden. These are my lily beds. I grow LA lilies, oriental lilies, and some rose lilies. And you can see they're starting to just pop up. So it tells me it's time to propagate. So I thought I'd show you this one here. Look at all these on the side are called little bulbets, and they will each make another lily plant. It takes a few years. It's probably 3 to 4 years till you get a flower, but it's worth propagating. So you can see all the little babies here. So I'm going to pull this one up and pop them on. And in 3 to 4 years, we'll have flowers. So I'm just going to dig around. They were quite big bulbs when I planted them, so they've multiplied really quickly. So you can see that's the main bulb here. Might even be 2 there. And then all those little babies. Sorry, my husband was working outside while I was filming this video, and it was quite noisy, so you can't really hear what I'm saying into the video, but I'm just separating the tiny little baby bulbs from the big bulbs here. So for the lily bulbs, I'm just going to pop them into a little pot like this, and they'll probably grow on all this year, and then might be a decent size enough next year to plant into the garden. I'll just put another hole in, take my little bowl, and pop it in there, cover it. That's it. The roots are long, you want to get them right down in there. Cover it over. Roots right down into there. And that's it, some more lily bulbs for the garden. Now I'm going to show you how to divide a dahlia clump. So this is one that I lifted, or two that I lifted yesterday from the ground, and I've hosed them off and they've been drying overnight. So this is Winky Truffle, which is one of my favourites, or they're both Winky Truffle, and it's actually a nice one to divide as well. Some dahlias are much harder than others and form really dense clumps, like Boundary Snowflake. If you grow that one, it produces so many tubers and close together, it's really tricky. I actually just kind of divide that one with a shovel first and then divide down further. But this one's pretty good. So another note is that we always sterilise our snips in between clumps. When you're doing one, you can stick with the same, but if you're doing a couple, you want to I've just got a bleach solution in there. There's a few diseases that dahlias can get, so just to be cautious, we always just do that. So first, what I like to do is just chop off the main stalk, like that, and then you can divide down further. So I can actually see on here eyes already, even though I just lifted it yesterday, the eyes are visible to me. I'm going to we'll use these ones because I can just chop that one there. And if you can see, there's eyes there already on that. And then I just trim off the ends, sharper scissors, just to neaten it off. Go down further, so you go through the middle of the clump. So that one is no good because with dahlia tubers you need to have the body and the crown intact and an eye. So this one here I can see is broken, so I'm just going to cut that one off. I don't need that. There. This one too, I can see there's eyes on here, and there's eyes on that one there. I'll chop that in half. And even though these are quite small tubers, they're going to grow into perfectly large plants. That's just how Winky Truffle is. All dahlias are different. So that one's got a broken neck, so that's no good. I'm just going to cut that off. And that one's also broken, so I'll just cut that off as well. This one here, I can see an eye there, and so I'm going to chop him off. That's broken. I can see some eyes in there, but not sure on that one, so I'm just going to keep that one together. Just trim off these little tail bits, you don't need those. Just makes it a bit neater for storing. And there's eyes all over this one, so I can chop that in half there. I'll leave that like that. And that's broken, so you just cut that off. So there you've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tubers from that one little plant, so that's amazing. So it's not time to plant your dahlias yet. We need to store them for a few months until the soil warms up. So I've got a little tub here. Make sure you label it. And then I'm just going to lay my tubers down in here. Like so. So they're just on that potting mix is just moist enough. When you buy a bag of potting mix, about that sort of level of moisture. And then I will just got some vermiculite here. It's a good idea to wear a mask when you handle this stuff. And then just sprinkle that over the top. Like that. And then that tub will go down soil with our other dahlias until the soil warms up. And final one for today is the chrysanthemums. I'll show you how we do those. Firstly, I'll show you a tray that I've already done here a little while ago. So this is a tray of cuttings that I propagated maybe a month ago. So I've got all my different varieties written on there. I've got that's a Bacchus salmon. I've got a champagne, Rosanna Charlotte, which is my favourite, Baltica pink, yellow buttons mixed, and then I've got Krabi, which is a beautiful one. So they were taken about a month ago, and you can see underneath we have roots on these, so they'll be ready to get planted up very shortly when I get some time. And if I gently pull one out, you'll see that it's already formed roots there. And now I'll pop it back in there. Keep going on. But I'll show you how I take the cuttings outside. So this is the variety that I want to propagate today. This one's called Seaton's J'adore. Beautiful big disc bud in a pale pink. So these are last year's plants, and you always want to propagate your chrysanthemums for each year. It makes much healthier plants. So literally just going to cut down right at the bottom there. And get nice tall stems. I'm just going down right to the base of the plant. There we go. Nice little handful of cuttings. And I'll take them into the cottage and show you how we do those ones. So there's a couple of different ways you can do your chrysanthemum cuttings, and two of my favourite are the soil method, and also you can propagate in water. So these are some cuttings that I've had sitting on my windowsill. They're carnations, don't look at those. Well, we will look at those. So this is a jar that I've had sitting in my kitchen just on the windowsill, and someone gave me a bunch of flowers and I really liked the piece of chrysanthemum in there, so I just chopped it down a little bit and we have roots. So that's one really easy method to do. It's even started to grow like a whole plant there. And then I can pop that up into soil. And the same thing actually works for carnations. This was the same situation. Just got them out of the bouquet, popped them in the glass, and then I'll be able to grow that plant. And then I'll show you how to do the soil method. So for the chrysanthemum in the soil method, this is how I do it. I don't know if it's 100% right, but this has been successful for me. So we've got some nice tall stems that we just cut in the garden, and you just strip all these lower leaves off. Again, you don't need any of those under the soil. To about there. And then I like to come below a leaf node there and just cut. And then I use rooting hormone for this one. Just a little dab on the end there. And then do my little hole again and push it right down deep into the soil and cover over. And again. chrysanthemums are another one of those plants that just root really easy. They want to grow. So don't stress too much, just have a go. If you've got a friend that's got some plants in their garden that you like, just ask to grab a few cuttings. Great way to multiply your stock. So that's it, and I'll just water that one in. Put those in, put them somewhere nice and warm, not too bright, just in direct sunlight for a little while, and within a month or so you'll have roots and be able to separate those and pot them up into individual pots or into your garden. So that's it for this week's video. Thanks for coming along. I hope you learnt something, and I hope you can get out into your garden and make some more plants for free too.